morning. We have a very important decision to make for presidential elections in November. We have two candidates, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. In order to choose the right one, we as Americans need to think about our safety and how our vote will determine the security of our nation. Security is an important thing in our everyday lives, and I believe that Trump will do what's right to protect our nation and make us feel secure. Therefore, in this speech, I will argue that you should vote for Donald Trump. I'm going to cover 3 reasons why you should vote for Trump. Number 1, Donald Trump will help the U.S. economy. Number 2, Donald Trump will take a stand against terrorists. And number 3, Donald Trump has the temperament to run a country. Let's begin with my first argument. Voting for Donald Trump will save the U.S. economy. According to Eric Roberts, writer on DiscussMuch.com, accessed on August 28, 2016, Donald Trump knows all about insolvency, debt, the deficit, taxes, and what it would take to right America's veering economic ship before it becomes the Titanic and sinks permanently. According to the U.S. debt clock, debt per citizen in the United States is around $60,000, and the overall debt is around $19 trillion. U.S. federal spending has also considerably gone up, around 119%. America is continually digging itself a hole, and Trump seems like the only option we have to get ourselves out of it. According to BBC News, BBC.com, August 8, 2016, according to the Nonpartisan Tax Policy Center, Mr. Trump's plan would reduce the amount of income the government takes in by $9.5 trillion over the next decade. But the economy is not our only problem. Donald Trump will help America take a stand against terrorists. According to Richard Esposito, writer for NBC News, NBCnews.com, June 30, 2014, ISIS, the Islamist terror group that now controls much of Syria and Iraq, poses an extremely high terror threat to U.S. targets and has the bomb-making skills and foreign fighters needed to strike U.S. and other Western interests, according to multiple U.S. intelligence offices. According to MJ Lee, writer for CNNPolitics.com, January 28, 2016, Trump seized on deep-seated fears about the country coming under siege, labeling himself the most military person there is and vowing to bomb ISIS. Terrorist groups such as ISIS have continued to terrorize the entire nation, and it's going to continue to get worse unless we have the right person in the office to stop it. With Trump in office, he'll be able to make a difference and stop these terrorists from making a negative effect upon our soil. And although some may argue that Trump doesn't have the temperament to run the country, I believe otherwise. Which brings me to my final point. Donald Trump can run the U.S. with a good temperament. Although his opponent may state he is unfit, according to Tamara Keith, writer for NPR.org, multimedia news organization and radio program producer, posted on August 4, 2016, Hillary Clinton stated, "Do you really think Donald Trump has a temperament to be commander-in-chief? A man you can bait with a tweet is not a man we can trust with nuclear weapons." But when it came time for Trump to step up and act presidential, he did. According to Michael Barbaro, writer for New York Times, NewYorkTimes.com, August 31, 2016, Mr. Trump, first reading slowly from a statement and then speaking more freely in response to a question, said he now considered Mr. Peña Nieto a friend and heaped praise on Americans of Mexican descent. Mexican Americans, Mr. Trump said, were beyond reproach and spectacular, hardworking people. Donald Trump is known as a man with passion and drive. He does not back down when confronted and fights for what he believes is right, even when everyone seems to be against him. In this speech, I have given you 3 reasons why you should vote for Donald Trump. Number 1, Donald Trump will help the U.S. economy. Number 2, Donald Trump will take a stand against terrorists. And number 3, Donald Trump has a temperament to be our president. Election day is just around the corner, so I implore you to think about our security and safety and what your vote will mean for our country. The security of our nation is at risk, and the vote we make for U.S. president will decide our future. So vote for Donald Trump to ensure that America is great again. Thank you.